don't have any hope. You don't have anything else. We are really not surviving.
Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot.
The investigation into the high school massacre is slow-moving and dangerous.
I'm about to get ready to go into a deep breakdown right quick on 9/11. I want to just cover it. We already know about all the conspiracies. We've seen it throughout the years. And I had just came across something interesting. And actually, what I noticed is how the Twin Towers basically resembled the Jerusalem temple built by Solomon that was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar. You know what I mean? And what I noticed is so deep because remember this happened basically when the temple of Solomon got destroyed. It basically showed how Israel was basically put into captivity under the Babylonians. You know what I'm saying? And what I noticed about that is so deep because I'm actually about to tap deep into this because when you look at 9/11 and you remember during that time, it's just so deep because I'm just looking at this and it just make you think, man, like when you understand the sense of planes, you know, the planes represent like the aspect of like the dimension, you know, like the mental plane, spiritual plane, physical plane. It represents the aspect of dimension. So when you look at 9/11 and how the 9/11 situation had to happen, you know what I mean? And it actually came out 5 years after Dr. King's death. I want y'all to pay attention to that because it opened up on April 4th, 1973. You know what I'm saying? He died April 4th, 1968, and it came out 5 years later. So I want y'all to pay attention to that because what's so deep about this is, remember I said the temple had gotten destroyed by the siege of Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar. And what I noticed about that, which is so deep because 9/11 in scripture, and they had a king over them. Remember Nebuchadnezzar was the great king, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. You know what I'm saying? And what I noticed and I thought about that is so crazy because how 9/11 basically showed, you know what I mean, like the aspect of like the great shift on the plains, you know, of basically the whole aspect of the Apollyon coming into rulership. That's why during that time you had George Bush in office, and then after him came Barack Obama, who we all know playing a big role because he's back into the White House right now through Joe Biden. And all Barack Obama represent is nothing but Antichrist, man. Believe it or not. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But what I want to tap into is so crazy because when 9/11 happened, you remember he had the 3 planes, the Venus 2277, and you remember they was all on 3 scheduled flights. Now, when you go back to July earlier that year in 2001, July 8th, Venus Williams, you know, she won the 3rd Grand Slam, hint the aspect of the Grand Slam. And you already know, like, what she did, she beat Justine Henin 6-3-6 and 6-0. Hint, that's the 666. You know what I'm saying? Beat Justine, aka all that does is derive from the name Justice. You know what I mean? And notice the whole aspect of the justice, aka the balance, you know, of nothing but masonry, man. You know what I'm saying? You get where I'm about to take this. I'm about to take this real deep, and it's just bigger than the whole aspect of the 9/11 because when you understand who built New York, they call him the master builder. His name was Moses. You see that? And you know, Moses built the tabernacle for where the Most High can dwell amongst his people. You know what I'm saying? He built New York City. You feel me? And I'm about to get deep into this because when you understand that too, what tripped me out is how it was the Japanese man Minoru Yamasaki, and him and Edward Durrell Stone. Now you already know about the whole aspect of the stone, aka masonry, and all Minoru Yamasaki. All that means, Minoru basically means truth and great and bearing ripe fruit, righteous fruit. And then when you understand his last name, Yamasaki, it don't mean nothing but like the high place, the highest mountaintop. And when you understand that, that represents nothing but the Illuminati pyramid, the mountaintop, you know what I'm saying? And then you have stone, aka nothing but masonry. This stuff is deep, man. And I'm just looking at that. And to even tap further, what I noticed too is how Venus, going back to the whole aspect of Venus, the coronae on Venus, which is nothing but basically like when you understand that all it basically is like the ring of fire. Because you already know the whole aspect of everything going on. I don't like to mention it, but we know about the big disease. You know what I mean? We already know what the name of it is. But notice how during that time, Venus was already a big piece of the 9/11. And then look what happened years later. Because remember during 9/11, that brought in like the great change of like security with the airports. Remember before that, you can just go place to place with no problem. But once 9/11 happened, it brought in like the new world way of things. Now look at what the whole aspect of everything going on and what we're shifting through about you're basically not able to travel as much because we're about to go through a new world order shift again. Hint the whole aspect of Venus being involved with the coronae. You know what I'm saying? And during that time too, the hip hop albums that came out, Jay-Z dropped The Blueprint. You know what I mean? Kill Army dropped Fear, Love, and War. Professor Griff, he dropped In the Word Became Flesh. And then A$AP Rock came out with Labor Days. All of that is talking about masonry, man. The Word Became Flesh, The Blueprint. All of that is talking about Antichrist Freemasonry, man. That's why Obama had to come after the time of Bush. Because, when you understand the bush, too, you look at the bush, it's like the tree of forbidden fruit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to delve into this. Burning bushes that Moses saw, you know what I mean? Let's delve deep into this. And like I'm saying, anyway, when you look at Barack Obama's signature, as you see, the B looks like a baby. And when you look at it, that looks nothing but like basically like a serpent egg. Look at the O. It's like basically the birth of the Antichrist. Just look at his signature. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. This stuff is right in our face, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Like, and everything, as I noticed that anyway, you already know about like the Twin Towers, hint the whole aspect of like the Gemini, Jacqueline and Boaz, which the Masons use anyway for their whole aspect of building because they utilize the sense of duality, the black and white. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to touch on this because I was sitting back thinking, I'm like, this is crazy. Because remember, Neo on the Matrix, he had a passport. And remember, it expired on 9/11. You know what I'm saying? And you see, he was given his passport in 1971 when he was born. 30 years later is when it expired. You know what I mean? Like, this stuff is crazy. Obama was elected, he was 47 years old. You know what I mean? And we already know, like I've been talking about the number 47, you can basically look at it like the swastika, which is nothing but basically the aspect of, they use it for Nazism, but really it's like the aspect of like the matter of the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? But, he's playing a role of Antichrist. You feel where I'm going with this? Because what I'm about to show you too, which is very deep, basically his mother's death, when you add it all up, you add up his dad and his mother's death, which is so deep because when you add up their death years, man, 1982 is his father's death year. That's 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 8 is obviously 18, plus 2 is 20. And then you add up his mother's death date, 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5. You add all of that together, it literally equals 44, which is Obama's age. He was a 44th president. I'm sorry. So you add up his parents' death years, it equals 44, and Obama was the 44th president. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to tap deep into that because I was just looking at how this whole aspect of the temple being destroyed, You know what I mean? That literally show, as it's written, we are in spiritual Babylon, man. Like that was a very serious matter that happened. You know what I mean? But when you look at it too, that's why they're doing a one world order, because when you look at it too, as it's written, the Most High is going, when he destroyed the Babylonian temple, when that whole aspect of the Babylonian temple and the city of Babylon being conquered, you know, that represented nothing but the Jews returning back to the Most High. So we already know why everything is literally playing out the way it is. You know what I'm saying? I just want to really tap into this. You know what I mean? Because this is a very serious matter, man. Like on a deeper level, we already know about 9/11. We already know about all the predictive programming. We already know about all of the whole plot, you know, the whole stage, all of that. But I would just want to delve into it on this level. So I'm actually going to end that right here. Thank you for watching How to Seek TV. Much more is coming. Peace.